Salutations, one and all. This is my reaction and review to RWBY Volume 9, Episode 9. And holy mother of God above, last episode was intense. Last episode was seriously overwhelmingly intense, as we had RWBY basically reunite with everybody she knows who has died, besides her mother, and they spend a good 10 minutes beating, berating, mocking her until she eventually gave up, until she eventually drank the tea and chose to ascend into a higher rank of being with a new purpose. Huzzah! And I am so excited to see what exactly RWBY will become now that she has ascended. And my theory for a while now has been that she'll become the big bad wolf, a giant furry monstrosity. And then as she, reunites with her friends, she remembers more and more about her past life, she'll eventually become, more and more human until she eventually, goes to a fairly fauna state, mostly human, but with like little furry wolf ears and a tail. Oh, that'd be adorable. That'd be so abso-freaking-lutely adorable. I want that to happen. I so badly want that to happen. But anyway, though, as my predictions this episode, my best guess is this episode will be fully focused on Weiss, Blake, Yang, and John as they deal with the aftermath of RWBY ending herself in their journey to get to the tree. A place you know, not a place you go, whatever the freak that means. And then, like, the very last second of the episode, they'll get to the tree, they'll see RWBY in her new form, and cut to black. And then next episode, we focused on, RWBY's journey to actually ascend. What she saw after she fell, into the roots of the tree, and what she chose as her new purpose. Or what the tree chose to make her new purpose. However this all works. But alright, let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Very ominous. Turning the page.
A door opened for Alex at the tree.
Oh, so this is the story of how Alex actually managed to escape the ever after, or at least Alex's version of how she managed to escape. I mean, it's been made very clear that Alex is a very unreliable narrator, and we can't really, take what she's saying at face value, especially because the book never mentions her brother, who she seemingly sacrificed to the tree in order for her to escape. I mean, that's what the show seems to be implying right now, though I've been speculating for a while now that her brother Lewis was the one that actually managed to escape, actually managed to get back to Remnant, and he wrote the book about his sister to basically thank her for sacrificing herself to save him. Though maybe we'll get confirmation about that this episode.
Before she went back home, after all the lessons she'd learned, and the friends she'd made and lost,
Summer! With her emblem! The emblem she gave RWBY, which RWBY just gave away, and nobody seemed to care about. Seriously, did Yang not know how important that was to her sister? And she never thought, maybe we should go back and grab that for her. Yang has kind of sucked this whole volume, just saying. I'm happy she's with Blake, but she's kind of sucked.
Come. Would she still be the same Alex when she...
Also, just saying, this is only about halfway through the book. Alex has managed to escape the ever after, and she's only halfway through her story? What the freak?
Back home? The leaves of the tree...
Oh, itty bitty Yang, so adorable.
Rustled, and on the wind...
Oh, itty bitty RWBY, who honestly looks identical to modern day RWBY, just saying.
Alex heard one more question. What are you?
Okay. So RWBY has turned into a tree. Interesting. I mean, I'm thinking this is more like a... Is that a tree? I mean, she looks like wood. Maybe it could be copper or iron. Maybe it could be like copper instead. Alright, let's say whatever. Let's say it's wood though for right now. So RWBY has turned into a tree. Is this just her being a sacrifice to the tree itself? Or is this more like a chrysalis that she's eventually going to hatch out of and become her new, better self with a new purpose?
What does this place want?
It wants to continue functioning, it wants to continue existing, and it sacrifices people to make that work. I mean, this entire place is like a giant clock. Every, gear, every person has a purpose in keeping the clock ticking, And well, then again, you can't really say it's the world's fault. It is the Curious Cat's fault. And the Curious Cat, really wants to get the freak out of here. But somebody, I guess, needs to take his place. So is it possible that Ruby will become the new Curious Cat? She'll be the one giving heart to the people who lose heart so they can, ascend and keep the process going? I mean, it certainly feels like a role Ruby could fit in quite well. I mean, she is, the self-sacrificing sort. So very, very interesting. Okay, John, any particular reason why you came back to the flooded village? I mean, I know your house is near here, but... Okay, yes, you can't actually get to the tree no matter how hard you try. It's a place you know, not a place you go, but still interesting.
What did I do wrong?
Nothing really wrong. I mean, honestly, I can't think of anything John has actually done, necessarily wrong in this series. Yes, he cheated to get his way into Beacon, but Ozpin knew that. Ozpin absolutely knew that. I mean, he was, not willing to accept Kira's help at first to train him, but eventually, he managed to mature, managed to accept her help, and, fought every day to become the best leader he could for his team. And since then, he's kind of gone, fully insane, but still, he's been trying his best.
We can figure this out. There's got to be a way to get to the tree.
Hello there.
Oh.
You appear upset.
Okay. So the paper pleasers are back, but now they're...
Kindness to tell me how I can help?
Made of stone. Fascinating. So what are these guys actually called? The stone... no good S words there. Gem, crystal caregivers? I'm gonna go with crystal caregivers.
Perhaps you are hungry?
Huh? No, that's...
Yeah, John, these are the people you looked after for, literal decades who have come back and do not recognize you at all. That's just how this world works, and it is seriously messed up.
Hey. What?
Yeah, John's broken. John is just, fully broken right here. Though on the bright side, he does seem to realize, hey, maybe this ascension thing isn't that awful after all. Maybe I should ascend as well.
We are the genial gems.
The genial gems? Seriously? Genial gems? Oh, that is an awful, awful name. Seriously, crystal caregivers would have gone so much better.
We have arrived here to clean up this beautiful land.
And hey, they are now waterproof. Huzzah!
And create something wonderful and pleasing.
Okay, these genial gems appear to be magic. Neat! Okay, I'm gonna say these dudes are a huge improvement over the paper pleasers. Though, also, I assume they were made of crystal, but are they just made of, ice? Will they just melt? Aren't they just, almost as vulnerable as the paper pleasers? I don't know. This is weird. This is really freaking weird.
No flood or fire will ever hurt them again.
Again, like I just said, I'm fairly certain they are made of ice, so fire might still hurt them.
I wanted the rush of rescuing someone.
And you got that, John. Every single day you got that. You saved the paper pleasers literally a dozen times a day for literal freaking decades. And I definitely get that John kind of equated his self-worth with his ability to save people, and the paper pleasers, whole lot easier to save than Pyrrha, Penny, or anybody else that he's let down over the years. And so he just got addicted to saving them day in and day out, again and again and again.
And I got that here.
But I can guarantee even the best huntsmen in history, they've all lost.
Absolutely. I mean, for the record, Crow is probably one of the highest ranking huntsmen literally in the world, maybe of all time, and he has lost. He has lost over and over and over again to the point where he has had, multiple breakdowns and a whole lot of alcoholism, but he still kept going because, he is the best there is. As sad as that might be.
But they were still incredibly brave. And good.
Aww. Now John gets his own little mental breakdown, as once again, everybody seems to have fully forgotten about Ruby. Huzzah! Oh, there we go! I mean, there's been a lot of debate this volume about the whole, Weiss and John thing. I mean, Weiss likes the older John. Weiss absolutely likes the older John. We can all agree about that. But the question is this, just her having a thing for older men in suits of armor due to some very weird relationship stuff with her father and grandfather? Or is this the start of an actual ship right here? I mean, I'm not sure. Personally, I would love it if John actually got Weiss after... she just rejected him again and again and again over the course of the first 2 or 3 volumes. Oh, that'd be perfect. That'd be so absolutely perfect. Though, then again, there is a very noticeable age difference between them. And if that could be fixed, that would be, so great. If they can find a way to, unage John, make him a teenager again. That'd just make this whole thing much less creepy. Oh, they all get in for the big group hug, as they are once again forgetting about RWBY.
It's not a place you go.
Okay, so because John wants to go to the tree now, he is being brought to the tree. Neat. That's what he meant.
It's a place you know.
Also, seriously, what exactly did the book say about reaching the tree? I mean, that was the whole point of the book. Alex had to go to the tree. What does the book say? How does the book say Alex actually made it to this freaking tree? Oh, okay, so it is the grasshopper, RWBY, huzzah, who is now being reborn. I guess this is actually a chrysalis state for him, and sooner or later he'll either, break free from inside of it, or just fully turn back to being alive, somehow. So that is a little bit weird, because, I mean, RWBY, he died, he ascended, whatever, several episodes ago, and the Paper Pleasers, just fell apart 2 episodes ago, and yet they are already back. Is it a more complicated process for her because he's a more complicated person? I'm not sure. Very strange.
Ruby?
Oh, and they found RWBY. Which, whole lot faster than I expected. Seriously, we're barely even 5 minutes in the episode, and they've already found her. Huzzah! Is there any idea, how you're actually going to wake her up? I mean, maybe just, break the tree and she'll be free. Or dead. I'm not sure which, quite frankly. Yes, Yang, this is the little sister that you've basically abandoned this entire volume and just kept forgetting about.
Now it's up to Ruby. Whatever happens next, we have to welcome that.
Alright, I actually like that, They're going to accept Ruby's transition. Whatever it is she becomes, they will accept her as she is, and know that this was something she needed because she couldn't keep going as she was before. Will she still remember them? Hard to say. I mean, the cat said, "Oh, the heart remembers. The heart always remembers." Though that doesn't really seem to, equate to a person having all the memories they did before they ascended. I mean, the genial gem certainly didn't seem to remember John, even though he spent decades guarding them when they were the Paper Pleasers. Just saying. Oh, okay, so they do actually hatch out of the wood. Fascinating. And what exactly will her become? I mean, it was very much like caterpillar state before, so I'm guessing, much more butterfly now? Not sure. Yep, there we go. Straight up butterfly. Oh, he's beautiful. And also, the blacksmith from episode, 4 or 5, whatever, was very clearly working on butterfly wings when RWBY met them, so is the blacksmith the person who actually makes their new forms, gives them a new purpose? I do not know. Very curious. Oh, hey, and RWBY has, full legs now. Awesome, good for him, he can run. Okay, Ruby, so what do you want to become? What do you want your purpose to be? Do you want to become a big bad wolf? Do you want to become your mother? Do you want to become some giant 8-limb monstrosity that can kill Salem with just a flick of your wrist? What do you want to be? Oh, also, where the freak is Little? I mean, Little should have a tree as well. Little also ascended, and he ascended with Ruby, so is he with her in this weird ascension world? No idea. Oh, and there's the blacksmith's hammer. I'm not sure if he knows this before, but there's a tree growing out of the blacksmith. So is the blacksmith just a part of the tree? I mean, the entire world, this entire world of the Ever After is part of the tree, part of the cycle created by the god of light and darkness. So, I mean, that wouldn't be that strange.
I didn't expect you here just yet.
Okay, that is a very interesting face mask right there. I mean, I could definitely see that being, you know, the wolf that Ruby will become, but at the same time, that could also be Little. I mean, it does look kind of like a mouse face, though obviously much, much bigger than Little used to be. I would still love if that was the case. And, blacksmith lady, you just said you didn't expect Ruby to be here quite this quickly, so you knew she would ascend eventually. I mean, I guess everyone in this world ascends eventually, but still an interesting line.
Am I gonna die?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you'll be reborn as something new, but the person known as Ruby Rose is probably going to die.
The only thing that can happen to you here is what you want to happen.
Don't trust her, Ruby. Seriously, do not trust this lady. She is so obviously evil.
You don't know what you want, do you?
Yeah, that's kind of been the problem this entire volume. Ruby doesn't really know who she is anymore because she can't be a huntress because in her mind, the huntresses never fail. They never lose, which is something, you know, Weiss probably should have said to her. And Weiss just had the whole thing like, even the best huntresses, they had losses, they had defeats. If she had said that like 2 episodes earlier, we might not be in this situation right now. Come on, Weiss, just do better. Okay, and there, oh, right, there we have the tree, and unless I'm mistaken, I think carved into the doors of the tree are the god of light and darkness. I mean, they definitely look like dragons, so I'm gonna say those are the 2 gods that made, you know, the world of Remnant and the world of the Ever After.
Wait,
Yeah, John, it has taken you a very long time, but you finally found the door. I mean, not necessarily by yourself. The rest of the team had to, you know, give you a nice little pep talk. But after, you know, you've been here for several decades and they've been here for several days, together you guys figured it out. It's good for you. Oh. Yeah, sorry, Neocats, you can't actually get out. I know you kind of figured, oh, if I was riding in the body of someone who's from Remnant, the tree wouldn't realize I'm secretly the cat and they'd let me out. Sadly, that's not enough to actually trick the tree.
Oh, good! You made it!
Oh god, that pose. Seriously, the cat actually went out of its way to try and pose casually. Oh, that was beautiful. That was so freaking beautiful.
I guess your little plan to get out of here isn't working?
There we go. That's some nice sass from Weiss right there.
She has no attachments to your world. Nothing to return to.
Oh, very fast. Actually, that's pretty ironic. I mean, the only reason why the cat was able to inhabit Neo's body was because, you know, Neo had no attachments. Neo no longer had anything she actually cared for in this world, and yet that is the very reason why the cat can't use her to get back to Remnants, because there's nothing to attach her to Remnants. Oh, perfect.
Just like Alex did.
Oh, God, the cat was behind Alex, too. Oh, my freaking God, of course it was. The cat probably controlled Alex and had Alex poison John. Oh, but wait, the only reason why the cat was able to take over Neo was because Neo was empty inside, but Alex wasn't. I mean, even at her worst, Alex seemed to be loving the Ever After and the people in it, so weird, very, very weird.
Wretched girl whose story you've been foolishly following all along.
Also, I'm just loving Neo's animation right now. Seriously, there's just so much character behind it. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
The same girl that I followed too. Decided she wanted to fix everything she'd broken in the ever after, including poor Jean.
Wait, what? Oh, I am confused. I am so confused. So Alex's crisis of consciousness only happened in the very last minute before she left this world. Is Alex the Jabberwocker? I mean, I assume she was, but this doesn't really make any... Oh, actually, think about it. Was John dead? Was John not just, like, poisoned, like, knocked out, but actually, like, fully killed by the poison right there? Okay, let's just watch. Let's seriously just watch.
So, Louis...
Yes, Lewis did go, and Lewis did get out. Lewis is the one who wrote the book about Alex. Oh, thank God. Thank you, freaking God. I mean, seriously, the author of Alice in Wonderland was Lewis Carroll. Obviously, Lewis is the one who wrote the freaking book. Okay, that was a very impressive anime landing right there. Absolutely loved it.
You monster!
Yep, right there. So, if the cats actually killed Alex, then that would mean that Alex ascended in this world and became the Jabberwocker. But Alex said they wanted to make amends for the things they did while they were here, the things they broke, and yet the Jabberwocker's purpose is to kill things, to end things, so... I don't actually see the logic of that. I mean, what did Alex say when they were face to face with the blacksmith? What did they say they wanted to become? I mean, maybe just like an ender of worlds, put people out of their pain and misery of the constant cycle of life and death over and over again, but that doesn't make a lot of sense either. Very strange.
All my work! It's not lost!
Okay, so now the new plan is to possess Ruby and use her to get out of the Ever After. Not a bad plan. Ruby certainly has more attachment to Remnant than Neo does. Also, just, this is so messed up right here, seriously. I mean, I figured, the cat arms, were the result of Neo's semblance, but you can actually see, like, the actual arms themselves have, like, swollen up, so... Yeah, that's unnerving. That is seriously unnerving.
Deep down, she wants... I just need to cut her out, and she will take me there.
No.
Okay, so now you guys gotta, stop the cat from breaking Ruby until Ruby herself can break free and, kill the cat with whatever insane ascension powers she obtains. Neat.
What comes out of that tree might not even be your sister.
Oh, God above. Okay, this is somehow way more disturbing than last episode, as they now need to fight an army of zombie rubies while essentially defending Ruby's corpse. Oh, seriously, it really does feel like the writers have gotten seriously sadistic this last volume.
Any longer.
Oh, that is a lot of weapons to choose from. Are they all made by the blacksmith? Are they all remnants, people who've fallen into this world from Remnant before? I do not know. Fascinating. I mean, let's not forget, when Ruby first showed up in the blacksmith shop, or whatever that place was, she saw what seemed to be Summer's weapon. So will Ruby pick that weapon again? Will Ruby maybe not necessarily become Summer, but, take up her weapon, remember the promise that her mother made to her, and still remain true to herself? I don't know. Either way, I would love to see Ruby get an upgrade. Oh, God. Above, seriously, you writers have gotten so freaking sadistic. Oh, this is awful. This is so freaking awful. It's like, why not give John even more PTSD? Oh, no, come on. Seriously? Having Penny distract him so Pyrrha can strike him from behind? He can't even see that it's Pyrrha. God, this is so mean-spirited. I love it. Oh, no, now he saw her. Now he saw her, and she kind of broke his spine. Oh, and then we had Weiss hit John. I guess that's the end of that chip. Oh, no, John just fell into oblivion. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. I guess John is going to ascend as well. What will he become?
It's all so heavy.
You know, Ruby, I really do appreciate that you need to make the right choice when weapon shopping, but your friends kind of need you, so any chance you could have this whole, like, mental breakdown, you know, a few minutes later? Can you just hurry things up here? I mean, that's an absolutely awful thing to say when I've said many times this volume that Ruby needs a break. She needs her friends to stop and listen to her, and that's finally what's happening. Her friends are supporting her. They're guarding her while she has her moment. Unfortunately, they are not doing a very good job at it.
It's the only.
And how would you measure enough?
There we go, Summer Rose's weapon. And the only weapon here that has any real personality to it.
Before she went back home. Are you?
What are you? Seriously? That's, God freaking Christ above. That's the end of the episode? Oh, that was too short. That was way, way too short. I mean, like I said, you know, at the start of this, I was expecting... Oh, okay, so that is, in fact, Summer Rose's weapon right there. This weird axe that's also a sniper rifle gun. Okay, we're actually getting a pretty good look at it here. Cool. Straight up rifle. It is a straight up rifle, and I love that. I would love to see Ruby, you know, long range sniping a bit more. I mean, okay, there technically was something she could do with Crescent Rose as well, but she hasn't done that in a very long time. Okay, so it definitely seems like the weapon Ruby's picking was in fact Summer Rose's weapon, and I don't really know what that means, because there's a lot of questions here. I mean, first off, why exactly is Summer Rose's weapon in the Ever After? Possibility one is, you know, it's just a manifestation of Ruby's own memories of her mother's weapon, and it's there because she remembers her mother wielding it. That makes perfect sense. Option two is that her mother did in fact fall into the Ever After somehow, some way. I mean, that sounds insane, but not necessarily impossible. Back when Yang was fighting Salem, she said, "You killed my mother, you killed Summer Rose." And Salem was about to say something about Summer, but she was interrupted and she never actually finished that thought. I mean, back then we all kind of assumed that she was going to say, "Oh no, I didn't kill her. I turned her into one of my hounds." But could she instead have been wanting to say something along the lines of, "Oh, I didn't kill her. I simply threw her into another dimension. She's in the Ever After with the Rusted Knights." I mean, I don't know exactly how that would happen. It would make a lot of sense. Also, just, you know, Ruby's weapon in general has been something that's incredibly important to her. I mean, you know, back in Volume 1, she's like, "Oh, this is my only friend, the only friend I ever need, Crescent Rose. I love it so much." She was so obsessed with the weapon, but there's also an importance to that because, you know, Ruby said before she was trained by her Uncle Crow in how to use a scythe, she was fully useless in battle. And it makes a lot of sense because, you know, Yang and Tai are close range fighters. They fight with their fists, and that has never been Ruby's specialty. That's something she's always struggled with. So of course she'd feel incompetent when compared to them because she can't fight like they do. But Crow's fighting style, that's something she can much more easily imitate. And so now this new weapon that she's apparently going to get, I'm guessing next episode, is this going to fit Ruby's fighting style? Can she wield this axe appropriately? I mean, it would make sense. I mean, she is Lord Riding Hood, and let's not forget, you know, she was saved, her grandmother was saved by the woodsman, by the huntsman, who was wielding an axe. So, you know, symbolically, it makes a lot of sense. But then there's still the question of what exactly she will become once she takes up her mother's weapon. Will she become her mother? Will she still remember her friends and family? Will she still have the memories of Ruby Rose? What exactly is happening with her journey here? I don't know. I seriously don't know. But anyway, though, we also got to see the paper pleasers return as the genial gems, who are either made of gemstone or made of ice. I'm not entirely sure which, but either way, they are a lot more durable, and I'm hoping, before this season ends, we'll get another shot over to this village and see what exactly they've turned it into now that they aren't nearly as fragile as they used to be. We also got to see Herb, awaken from his chrysalis state and then just fully fly away, not pay any attention to anyone around him, just fully fly away and head off to, I guess, serve his purpose, whatever that might be. Meanwhile, the curious cat / Neo, the curious Neo cat, whichever one you prefer, very annoyed because they can't actually use Neo's body to escape to Remnant. Ruby's body, though, that could work. That could absolutely work. Especially if they kill Ruby first, so that there's no resistance. But again, there's still the issue of, the body wouldn't want to go back to Remnant because the body would be dead. So I don't really know how the cat is going to make this work either way. And again, we had Alex, who let her brother go back to Remnant and write the book about her, but she stayed behind to make things right, and the cat killed her and probably turned her into the Jabberwocker. But that still doesn't make sense because, like I said before, Alex wanted to stay behind in order to make amends, in order to fix everything she broke, but as the Jabberwock, all she can do is just keep on breaking things. I mean, if, Alex went through the same process that Ruby did when she ascended, then I don't feel like this would have been what she chose. I don't think she would have asked to become death itself. Unless, becoming death was part of a larger plan to kill the cat, to end the cat's reign of terror in the Ever After, to have him ascend? No, wait, he wouldn't ascend if he was killed by the Jabberwocker. So maybe just, fully remove the cat from the equation and fix the world somehow, some way. I mean, the cat's role seems to be fairly important, so I'm not really sure what would happen if he died. Maybe that's for the betterment. I mean, the cat's planning on, getting out of here anyway. He's planning on running away and escaping to Remnant, so yeah, I guess they can, stand to lose the cats. Why not? Gosh, that final shot. What are you? Oh, I love that. I absolutely love that. I mean, that's like a big thing that was said, last volume about Alex in Wonderland, or the girl who fell through the world, I mean. Once she got back home, there was this whole thing where she's like, who am I? I don't recognize myself. Who am I now that I've gone through all these wild, insane adventures? And, I mean, that makes sense for Ruby, who is she now? Who does she want to become? All that, but I'm a little confused about how that works in the actual, world itself, because Alex didn't go back. Lewis did instead, so what was Lewis trying to say with that? I don't know. Who am I now that I lost my sister? Who am I now that I left Alex behind? Something like that? Or was he just trying to give Alex a proper end to her story? Trying to say, oh, even if Alex hadn't made it back, she was so changed by the journey that she wouldn't have recognized herself? That's weird. That's a very, very weird detail, but please... But anyway, though, please let me know what you think down below. What will Ruby become now that she's taken up her mother's weapon? Is this, in fact, her mother's weapon? Did her mother fall into the Ever After somehow, some way, perhaps by Salem's hand? Or is this, just a manifestation of Ruby's own memories of her mother's weapon? I'm not sure which. And what's going to happen to this cat? Oh, also, John was kind of, thrown off a ledge. Is John okay? Oh, seriously, this was brutal. This was so freaking brutal. The Penny Pyrrha tag team, followed up by Weiss, hitting him with an attack that sent him actually over the freaking ledge. That was awful. That was so awful, and I loved it. But, yeah, is John okay? Did he fall, into the abyss below where there's nothing and he's just going to keep falling indefinitely or until he ascends? Or did he just, fall a couple dozen feet and he broke a few bones, but otherwise he's okay? I don't actually know. But anyway, though, please let me know what you think down below. And until next time, peace!